Good morning, North Miami Beach. Welcome to Storytime. This week is all about the color yellow. But let's start off with our song. We clap and sing hello. We clap and sing hello. With our friends at Storytime, we clap and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. We wave and sing hello. With our friends at Storytime, we wave and sing hello. Good job. Well, let's just jump right into our first book. And we're going to read Pete the Cat and His Magic Sunglasses. And what color is the sun? Yellow. That's right. Pete the Cat did not feel happy. Pete had never, ever been grumpy before. Pete had the blue cat blues. Then, as if things were not bad enough, along came Grumpy Toad. Grumpy Toad was never happy. He always wore a frown. But Grumpy Toad was not grumpy today. He said, "These cool blue magic sunglasses make the blues go away. They help you see things in a whole new way." Pete put on the cool blue magic sunglasses. He looked all around. Right on! Wow, look at the sun. The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining. I'm feeling all right. Pete thanked Grumpy Toad for the cool blue magic sunglasses. He went on his way and soon he saw Squirrel. Squirrel did not look happy, and Pete said, "What's wrong, Squirrel?" "I'm so mad. Nothing is going my way. I only found one acorn today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They will help you see things in a whole new way." Squirrel put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. Awesome! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining. I'm feeling all right. Pete said goodbye to Squirrel and continued on his way. Soon he saw his friend Turtle. Turtle did not look happy. "What's wrong, Turtle?" Pete asked. "I'm so frustrated. Nothing is going my way. I'm all upside down today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Far out! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining. I'm feeling all right. Pete kept rolling along until he saw Alligator. Alligator did not look happy. "What's wrong, Alligator?" Pete asked. "I'm so sad. Nothing is going my way and no one wants to play with me today." Pete said, "Try these cool blue magic sunglasses. They help you see things in a whole new way." Alligator put on the cool blue magic sunglasses and looked all around. "Rockin'," he said. "The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, and I'm feeling all right." Pete was rolling along and feeling all right when suddenly he fell back. The cool blue magic sunglasses went crack. Uh-oh, Pete didn't know what to do without those sunglasses. Just then, Pete looked up into the tree. Wise old owl said, "Pete, you don't need magic sunglasses to see things in a whole new way. Just remember to look for the good in every day." Pete looked around without his sunglasses. Too cool! The birds are singing, the sky is bright, the sun is shining, and we're feeling all right. Good job! Now, let's move right on to our next book. This one's called Curious George Discovers the Sun. And can you tell me what color the sun is? Yellow! George was a good little monkey and always very curious. Even little monkeys know when it's the hottest day of the summer. Do you know how George learned all about the sun? Believe it or not, our story starts in the dark. George loved playing outside on warm days, but today he needed a break. "It's too hot for the park, George," asked the man in the yellow hat. George nodded and went over to the air conditioner. Just as George started enjoying the cool air, the air conditioner turned off. So did everything else, the lights, the fan, the radio. This was a sign of very hot weather, a blackout. "I should call the electric company so they know we have no power," the man said. That phone doesn't charge either. Where could it be? George found the phone on top of the air conditioner, but it was no use. It hadn't been charging. There was no more power left in its batteries. We're due at the museum, George. We can call from there, the man said. When they got to the museum, it was dark there too. Still no electricity, said the man with the yellow hat. Professor Wiseman said, there is for us, and she flipped the light switch and all the lights flickered on. How could the museum have power when the rest of the city didn't? George wondered if the blackout was over. Let's go to the roof, said Professor Wiseman. I have something to show you. Professor Wiseman's friend, Dr. Levitt, was waiting for them on the roof of the museum. You just witnessed the first test of the solar panels I installed to power the museum, Dr. Levitt said. We're unveiling them at a party tonight, said Professor Wiseman. We're a solar museum. Do you know what solar powered means, George? He didn't. Professor Wiseman explained. Usually electricity is made far away and sent in on wires, but now the museum can make its own power. Solar panels turn the sun rays into electricity, said Dr. Levitt, which is then stored in batteries. Dr. Levitt showed the big blue batteries to George. These batteries are like the ones in toys, and they get their power from the sun. George never knew the sun could charge batteries. Did you? It's Dr. Levitt's birthday, Professor Wiseman said to the man with the yellow hat. During the party for solar panels, I'd like to give her a surprise. I could make my famous veggie lasagna. Precisely what I was thinking, said the professor. Since the phone still didn't work, George took a note to the man from Professor Wiseman at the museum. When he got there, he was so very hot. Back again, George? In this heat? She read the note that said, there's been another blackout. Ask him to bring his lasagna over at 6 o'clock. As she wrote down the time on the note, George noticed something different about Professor Wiseman's car. Those are solar panels, George. They convert the sun's rays to electric power, remember? Of course. George had forgotten about solar panels. Now he remembered. The sun shines on the solar panels, and the panels turn the sun's rays into energy. Hey, want to ride home in a solar car? Boy, did he! I sure think it'll beat walking in the heat. When George and Professor Wiseman pulled up to George's building, they startled Hundley and the doorman. I didn't even hear the car drive up. That's because solar-powered engines are quiet. See you tonight, George, called Professor Wiseman as she drove away. George gave the note to the man in the yellow hat. 6 o'clock, he said. If I put it in the oven right now, it'll be ready in plenty of time. The man put the lasagna in the oven and turned on the heat. But a minute later, the oven shut off again. So did the fan and the radio. Another blackout, said the man. George, the oven is electric. My lasagna won't cook. I'd better warn Professor Wiseman that we may be late. Or worse, lasagna-less. But the phone was still dead. There's no way to cook without power, said the man. Or was there? George noticed the sun reflecting off his toy and remembered something his friend had told him earlier. That gave George an idea. He pointed to his spaceship so the sun reflected the light. George, that reflected the light. It's bright and hot. And then he realized what George was telling him. They could use the heat of the sun to cook the lasagna. George, you're a genius. They found a pizza box from one of last night's dinners. A pizza box keeps pizza warm, so it'll trap the heat. He cut a big flap in the top. We need a hole to let the sun in. The man continued to give instructions to build their solar-powered oven. A shiny aluminum foil to direct the sun's heat into the box. Once that was done, they placed the lasagna inside the pizza box and brought it outside. Angle the top so that the sun hits the lasagna. George, the man said, if the power comes back on, we can put it in the oven. But it doesn't, this will cook. At 6 o'clock that evening, guests arrived at the museum. It was the only building in the whole city with electricity. George and the man in the yellow hat arrived with the special birthday lasagna. Professor Wiseman gasped when they opened the door. It's hot! Thank goodness the surprise isn't ruined. Inside, all the guests sat at a long table to celebrate the museum's solar power and Dr. Levitt's birthday. Now the lasagna would be even more of a surprise since the whole city had been without power for cooking. Oh my, said Dr. Levitt when she saw the lasagna. How did you cook it during a blackout? We made a solar cooker, the man said. thank George and the sun. Dr. Levitt was thrilled. It was a wonderful surprise. Nothing could make this party more special than a solar lasagna. Yay! Well, this week was all about yellow. And what is yellow? The sun. So this week's craft is the sun. You can come in anytime and pick up your take and make craft to make it home. Bye!